I was a young boy, my father took me into the city to see a marching band. He said, son, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned?
Take the lyric out of a song. Could you imagine if your dad took you to see a band and said, could you be the leader of the broken and the damned when you get older? Things that sound great in songs are ridiculous if you say them out loud just as prose.
So I'm going to need you to do me a favor. I know you're 7.
Going to need you to lead the broken and the damned.
Hey, what?
To join the
Blackberry.
Can I?
And in order to do that, I'm going to be out of your life from now on.
A phantom. I'm gone. Goodbye.
Can I start with the broken and graduate to the damned?
That
or-
explains it. My dad had that conversation with me, and I just don't remember.
See?
He's been out of my life ever since.
Should have put the lyrics behind it, or the sound behind it.
The beaten and the damned.
Well, it's time to break out your jacket with the epaulets, because My Chemical Romance is going on their first North American tour in almost a decade.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna go.
I'm going too.
if you're a scene kid from 10 years ago,
Sometimes I get
I
the
gotta
time
go
to live like you're whatever again.
I need a Hot Topic
17.
shirt.
Yeah. I was on in Chicago when this was out, and we were
I
beating
love
the
this
piss
song.
out of this song.
11-year-old me is just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's one of those songs where it's not that long, but it feels like it's
real long.
really
I feel
long.
No,
like
it does
yeah.
not.
Unless this is an edit. This is 4:35. But I feel like the song went on and on
Still
and
pretty
on.
long,
It was
yeah.
like
I'm surprised I haven't done
That's
the
like
Super
an
Bowl.
okay song, but no.
done
You
what?
got 2 songs.
Are they coming to Cleveland?
They are not. Nope,
Yeah.
you'll have to travel to see them, but it's going to kick off.
Let me guess, Detroit or Pittsburgh?
Yes, it kicks off in Detroit, September the 9th. They will play the Little Caesars Arena. They're doing maybe 20 stops.
Well, I'm not going to Dirty D, so
You've
I'll
been
wait
there.
for Pittsburgh.
September 9th is Wednesday.
They are not playing Pittsburgh. You'll have to go to Detroit or Chicago. They're going to play Riot Fest, but that's a festival. They'll play Toronto. So, yeah, you'll have to travel if you really want to see these guys. They're doing overseas this spring and summer, and then they'll hit over here in the fall. So, anyway, there you go.
They're great.
They're not, but
They
I mean,
are.
if you
They are.
if you're no,
I mean,
but if you're
objectively, they are.
if you're a fan,
That just means they're great, but not to anyone else.
No, the great to a generation. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just like
It's me.
yeah, you guys
Between
because you're
me and him,
younger.
yeah.
I was too old for this. Alan was too old for it, and just
no,
didn't
it
hit
wasn't.
with
It
us.
wasn't even that I was too old. I got nothing against the band.
Except the music.
No. I get why people dug them. Like they had some good songs. They had their moment. Their drummer, I think, was from Chicago, so there was like a local connection to us. But yeah, they were fine. I mean, they were of that time.
Yeah.
And they really blew up. But they were kind of, you burn twice as bright, you burn half as long.
Yeah.
That dude was like, I'm out. And then they bailed.
They're a staple at emo night. I'm not okay. Come on.
Oh, I
That's
missed that
such a
song.
good one. You know it.
Anyway. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, it was, it wasn't, it's not that it wasn't for me, because I was still, I appreciated what they were doing.
He's another one who did the guy
I
liner
wasn't,
thing for me.
I was a little past being appropriately angsty.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like this was perfect for their age because they were going through that angst.
Yeah, they were not.
You had an angst band. I had an angst band. It just wasn't. This wasn't my angst band. I was out working, doing adult stuff at the time.
Yeah.
The first celebrity nude I saw was Pete Wentz in Fall Out Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that.
And he's got a rod, right?
Nah.
Oh, I thought he did.
I mean, it's not. It was regular.
Fall Out Boy, not Fall Out Man.
Yeah, it was regular. But I just remember that.
The goggles, they do nothing.
Back then, it was really hard to leak a picture
That's what I
because
was like. I feel like I remember having to search through Google to find that. Like Google Images.
But that's what I'm saying. You were dumb if you got your nudes leaked because it wasn't like they had a cloud back then. Like you had to put it on a digital camera, then on a flash drive, then on your computer, and then have someone upload it. So someone really had
That's
to
when
hate
you had to earn your D-pics. Now people whip them willy-nilly.
People airdrop them.
You had to work to get that stuff back then. That's,
That's
yes.
real.
I
People
know.
are
I know
doing
it
that.
is. I know.
It's,
Whoever has their Bluetooth on, airdrop it.
it really
What?
devalued the impact of them, They really flooded the market.
Yeah, I just thought that was so weird. I'm like, you have a stupid and the digital cameras back then were like a regular movie camera now, and
Same one they use in the promo department when they're out at an appearance.
Yeah.
Old 2005 digital camera for some.
I remember getting a digital camera for Christmas from my high school sweetheart, and it was like the best gift I could have ever asked for.
I remember when I was 13, I got a Kodak Instamatic, and I thought it was the greatest thing, where you had to take the roll of film and get it developed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But getting your own camera was
It
like
was
a rite of
incredible.
passage.
And you like you had to take out the battery to put it in its little charger. Like you couldn't just charge the little SD card was right in. I filled up like 3 of those SD cards. Taking pictures of nothing. The original selfie where your whole arm is in it and you like have no clue what you're doing.
There was something to you, right?
I loved it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of unfortunate photos, our buddy Tom Sizemore, remember Tom Sizemore?
Oh, yeah.
McGrady's dad.
No. Tom Sizemore, a fantastic actor, but he's had just nonstop problems with drugs and alcohol. He's in Natural Born Killers and a lot of great movies.
Saving Private Ryan,
but he'll have these fits and starts where he seems to be okay. I think he did Celebrity Rehab or something on VH1, and they busted him for DUI and drug possession over the weekend. 3 weeks into the year. They pulled him over at 3 a.m. outside L.A.
Hammer pants.
They said he was under the influence, and they searched him, and they found narcotics on him.
Didn't he have he was dating Heidi Fleiss for a while?
Back in the day, yeah, Heidi Fleiss was the big thing.
Public breakup, and
They
were
did.
wild together. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's a bummer.
Tom Sizemore is still trying to get things together. I mean, they busted him a year ago, and then the guy doesn't go to jail. He keeps avoiding jail because of plea deals.
At what point do they just go, all right, we got to... Well, and I know in California, too, they have very different laws when it comes to people that are addicts and stuff.
Well, because part of your plea deal is usually like, you got to keep your nose clean for 12 months, 13 months, 18 months, whatever. And if you violate the terms, you're going in jail. But these guys never seem to go to jail.
Now,
They got lawyers and money.
My question, I had to Google this to find out.
I don't know that he's got money still.
Yeah, he probably has enough going on in residuals that it's probably taking all his money, but he's got enough that he can hire a lawyer, maybe not the best lawyer, but a lawyer. He's not using a public defender.
You don't think so?
No.
Guy's 58 years old.
Yeah.
He's a dad.
And he's
trying
done a ton of movies, and he started just doing whatever movie they'd throw at him, so he still works. And I'm not saying he's got millions of dollars, but I'm guessing he has enough to get a decent lawyer.
The 90s were the high point.
Yeah.
Natural Born Killers, True Romance, Born on the 4th of July. He was in Heat, one of my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Heat. He's in a great movie called Strange Days, which people forget about, but that was a good movie too. He's in Pearl Harbor, Black Hawk Down.
Here's my question. When they say they caught this guy and he had narcotics, I had to look up what a list of narcotics was. Opium, heroin, oxy, Vicodin. Is that it's clearly not prescribed to him, right?
Right.
Like you can't get in trouble for having a bottle of oxy that has your name on it.
Well, he's like a cocaine guy, I think. They probably found cocaine on him.
Is that a narcotic?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Cocaine is, yeah.
Okay, I didn't know. But you can't get in trouble for a prescription.
No.
You would have to
No.
have loose oxy
it
or
depends
something
too.
like that.
If you have a prescription and you can prove it, that's one thing. But sometimes people
Morphine,
will have
tramadol.
They'll have a ton of prescriptions from different doctors, and because they're just working the system as best they can.
To intent to distribute or whatever.
No, not even that. They're just getting it. They're going to different doctors and saying that, I got this pain here, I got this pain here, and just getting their prescription filled for some sort of painkiller just to feed their habit.
Got it.
He was in Big Money Rustlers. Remember the ICP cowboy movie?
Oh, jeez.
I mean, who could forget? I can.
It was
I hope at the gathering they put it on a big screen.
It was the
You can
prequel
watch
to
it.
Big Money Hustlers, right? They go, here's the story before Big Money Hustlers. They were cowboys with the face paint. Tom Sizemore was in that.
Oh my goodness, that sounds like a great sequel to Everybody Loves Mayor. Are they pioneer lawyers?
Are you guys pioneer lawyers or anything along those lines?
I'm looking for me. I need a little sidekick.
No, nothing like that. Been a while.
She's not your average lawyer, but she is very hot. She knows how to cook up on her hot and steamy pot. With her horse, you know she likes to ride him everywhere. Look out for this pioneer, everybody loves Mare. Everyone says that she's the greatest lawyer in the West. And every day she likes to dress up in her Sunday best. When there's trouble in the West, you better call her if you dare. Look out for this pioneer, everybody loves Mare. Look out for this pioneer, everybody loves Mare. Yeehaw!
Oh, got me in the front butt.
Still holds.
Yeah. Got me in the front butt.
But now throw in, what are their names, the two ICP guys? Make them
Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some juggalette you are.
Yeah.
Well,
I lose the bonnet and I get some fishnets.
I was going back through Tom Sizemore's CV to see like when the last big movie he did. It was like 2003. He did Dreamcatcher. Remember that awful Stephen King
movie? Yeah.
Then he was in Black Hawk Down, which was a couple years. So 90s, early aughts was when he was really doing so. He's still making. He's still in things.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's just kind of taking whatever he gets.
Exactly. So he's still working, but he's just not making what he was back when he was in like blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Tom Sizemore. Oh my goodness.
Old Tommy Sizemore.
That poor guy.
Probably cries more now.
Tom cries more.
Every time you play that song, Alan, my girlfriend starts marching.
It is kind of a marching song.
Yeah. You saw the kid from the Mighty Ducks is a meth head now, and they found him in a guy's.
He's been a meth head for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He gets in trouble every few years because I remember last time he went viral because, well, first he lost a bunch of weight, and everyone's like, "Oh, good for him. He looks good."
He's a meth
And
head.
then you go, "Oh, that's why I lost all the weight because he keeps getting in trouble. He's on meth."
That's always such a weird kind of like line you have to tell. I had a girlfriend who dabbled in drugs, and then her coke habit got a little out of control, but nobody knew that, so she lost a bunch of weight, and a bunch of people were complimenting her.
Right.
Like, oh my God, you look so good. And she told me, I had said something one time, and she's
It's
like,
the cocaine.
She's like, dude, I'm out of control. Like, I was like, oh, well, take back the comment about your abs. Like,
Right.
what am I supposed to say?
So it's not Weight Watchers points.
Right.
Yeah, it's
your
cocaine.
thighs don't look great with that gap. I don't know what to say, you know?
And you know me with my mouth. I would say something as a joke like, "Oh, go do some blow." Like,
Right.
Or like,
She's like, "You got?"
well, no, like if a girl who was like, if she was my friend and she was like slightly overweight, like she'll crack jokes about me being gay and ugly. I'll crack jokes about her being overweight and ugly. And I'm like, you know what? You can do some blow. And she'd be like, I already do. Like, I'd be like, ooh, my bad.
My problem.
Tell you and your friends go back and forth?
Yeah.
Gay and ugly, fat and ugly.
People, yeah. I mean, you're not real friends in my book if you don't make fun of each other.
I was reading about Adie Bryant, who is one of the best people on Saturday Night Live. She's one of the funniest people over there. She's a big girl. She was talking about how she quit Twitter because liberals and conservatives would fat shame when she played Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Oh, really?
She's like, playing Sarah Huckabee Sanders made me quit Twitter because everyone was awful about it. She's like, I would get tweets from right-wingers who would say that I was a fat, ugly pig who didn't have the right to play somebody as brave and smart as Sarah Huckabee Sanders. And she goes, and then I'd get liberals saying that I was too beautiful and good to play someone as vile and fat as Sarah Huckabee Sanders. So she's like, everybody was essentially saying the same thing, and it just grossed me out. She's like, it was brutal. And she's like, it made me sad because it was both sides were doing the same thing.
Well, there's a lot of like famous
we are?
comics and actors and stuff who are going only to Instagram, where they're just like, I mean, sure, you can turn off the comments, but you can still share pictures and still be involved with your fans, but you don't have to deal with any of that. It's not like you can turn off comments on Twitter. You put it out there and any whack job can respond. You know?
And you don't even have to write. Like, you'll just open your feed and it'll be
it's
all
right there,
Right. So,
well, and there's stuff like if you just mention a word, people will come at you on Twitter. Like there's things like I posted something the other day, and some dude that was just a basketball fan is like a dunk that happened on LeBron, and he just came at me for like 3 days. I'm like, I didn't reply to this guy once,
right?
And he just kept tweeting at me about something that I was just like, that was a cool play because he was like and I'm a LeBron fan, and he's like, but he was like, he thought I was trying to disrespect LeBron. I'm like, dude, you got to calm down.
Right.
Wait, he was taking umbrage with what that you said?
I just said LeBron got dunked on, and it was just, and he's
Oh,
like,
I see.
oh, that's like, LeBron.
He's the greatest of all time. How dare
dude,
you?
I'm just not.
Twitter people are nuts, dude. They're a good friend of mine. Her name's Nicole Amy Schreiber. She's a comedian. She did Lights Out with David Spade last night.
Yeah.
And she they were talking about The Bachelor coming to Cleveland, and she was like, Cleveland isn't where you go to find love. Cleveland is where you go to find a body or something like that. And she's like, what's their first date going to be? Stealing a car battery together?
I don't like that.
And she knows because she's from Detroit.
Yeah, she's from Detroit, but she
get her.
exactly. She got all this backlash about it, and then she tagged me in a tweet later, and it was like, just so everybody knows, I love Cleveland, like I love working Hilarities, I love Mary Santora, and like I went and watched the clip and saw what people were freaking out about, and I was like, get out of here, like relax. You don't know anything about our city. We're good, hardworking. I'm like, chill out. Like,
It's a comedy show.
I had my catalytic converter stolen downtown like 2 years ago. Like,
if you go to AlanCoxShow.com, you can watch that clip of the girls on The Bachelor being told the other night that they're going to Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
funny.
And it's one of the best moments from that show. But I thought that the write-ups on that episode were going to be like, you know, Cleveland gets a bad rap, but blah, blah, blah. But all the write-ups on that episode of the show were like, boy, Cleveland does not. They did not, for all the money that the Board of Tourism probably paid to get them to go there, they did not have the best showing of that city. They're like, they go to Cedar Point, which is an hour outside the city, and then they had to stage like, oh, there's a pierogi cart or something.
Actually,
like, I know it's wintertime, but
Yeah.
Yeah, my
they were
ex-
here in October.
Yeah.
Right, but still, like, you know.
My ex lived in Broadview Heights, and they were filming at I think it was a winery or some type of restaurant right across the street from his development. So, like, they just put him in a spot, and that's where they kept him the whole time. But it was like a multi-million-dollar winery, so, I mean.
There actually is not going to be a date because Peter's left town. He's left Los Angeles.
What?
Ladies, it's time to pack up.
Oh. Where are we going? Where are we going?
The first stop on this amazing journey that will take us literally around the world
Oh my God.
will begin in a city full of art, culture, and rock and roll. Peter's going to meet you in Cleveland, Ohio.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
sounds
sorry.
like you, yeah.
Did I screw up your video?
I love
didn't
it.
know.
That's our favorite part.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Leave this mansion. You will not be coming back.
The girl's like, Ohio? Listen, if I was somebody from Dallas or L.A. and I'd never been to Cleveland, I'd think the same thing, you know?
I actually got a vase from their ceremony that they had at that winery. My ex gave
An
it.
actual vase.
Yeah, because they were getting rid of props, like, because they were like, we're never coming back to this bitch. So they essentially were like giving away. They were giving away.
We're never coming back.
they flew away, and
Sure.
they're never coming back. And so yeah, in my house, in my roommate's house, I gifted them because they watch it all the time. But yeah, that was kind of cool.
Right.
I wanted to see what expensive life was, and I was like, oh, this is more than I can afford, so I dropped it.
Huh. All right. Alan wasn't Tom Sizemore in Inception. I don't think he was.
No.
Tom Hardy was in Inception.
Yeah.
I don't think that Tom Sizemore was in Inception, though. But Heat, I mean,
I still haven't seen that one either.
oh my God. One of my favorite movies of all time.
It's a heist movie, right?
It is, and I will.
Is
if
it
it's-
like the first heist movie?
No, it's 95. I saw it the night it opened. It opened New Year's Eve, so December 30th, 1995. I was just I had just moved to Kalamazoo, and I was home for the holidays. I had just moved to take the gig in Kalamazoo in September, and so it was my first time home after moving there. So I was home over the holidays and went to see Heat with a friend of mine. And she was like, I don't want to see this. I go, well, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable. That's one of those movies, like, if it's on, I don't care where in the
You
movie,
gotta watch
I'll
it.
watch it.
That's me with Sister Act 2.
Because it's
Same
same
movie.
thing. Yeah, same thing.
Same level. Yeah.
yeah. And I think a similar cast, right? I mean, John Voight, Val Kilmer, Pacino, and De Niro, both in Sister Act numero dos. Yeah. Sister Act 2.
It is. No matter what
I mean,
channel
you
it's on.
got Whoopi and
what's
Lauryn
that?
Hill. Right?
I have to watch it. I have to.
Oh, Lauryn Hill's in that?
Isn't she in the second one?
Yeah.
She's in the second one, yeah.
Was that Back in the Habit? Is that what it was
Back
called?
in the Habit, yep.
I've never seen either of the sister
The second
act
one's
movies.
way better, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
Boy,
one of
the first one must have been garbage. The second one was better.
Alan,
Well,
they
it
can
was
both
just-
be garbage.
Yeah. The second one, she was like more in a role, and like the kids were involved, and the first one didn't have kids, did it? It
Nope.
was just it was just her like
Just the nuns.
hiding in a.
What is it? She's a
nunnery.
robber pretending to be a nun?
She's
She
in
like
the-
escapes Vegas.
She's in the witness protection program,
Yeah.
and then
and pretends to be a nun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
she becomes
she
a witness for Christ.
in the second one, she like helps troubled kids who are all actually really good singers and makes them like this chorus.
Yeah, they're
and
about
stuff.
to
It's really
I
cool.
see.
lose their school, and they have to go to this choir contest. And if they win the choir contest, it looks good on the school, and then they won't close.
It's a
you know.
real feel good one.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise hit, so they made a sequel. I'll tell you what.
That's the second one.
I'll tell
That
you-
is the sequel.
Oh, okay.
The sequel
What's the
was
first
bigger.
one?
She just in
It's called
like with
Sister Act.
nuns.
On the Run. I know what it's called.
Sister Act on the Run. Yeah, she's just like pretending to be a nun, and they find
Ah.
out that she's actually not a nun.
I'll tell you what, Bill. That sounds to me like your classic fish out of water story.
Yeah.
Sister Mary Clarence.
Oh boy. Well, the nuns used to have
I
have
thought
boy
that was
names.
Superstar.
When Jesus
No.
was.
What's her
Sister
name?
Act 2. Mary Catherine Gallagher.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I've got a